point of them twice.
Yeah.
But then we just couldn't keep the run going.
Yeah, my point being, you've got to get as many. I think now, especially with these big teams coming down, you've got to get as many points as early as you can, because that will come back and bite you.
Yeah, I think it's important there though that we do hit the ground running straight away. It's important to get the first 3 points, because teams are then playing catch up on you. Yeah. We were playing catch up from the word go, you know, and the record there: one win in the last 10 seasons, 6 draws, 3 defeats. It's not good enough. You know what I mean? Because if you start strong, you know what I mean, you can then go into the next game confident. You're going into the cup game against Huddersfield. You're going into all these games confident, and you're there to be shot at. I'd rather be there to be shot at than thinking we have to start winning. You know what I mean? People talk about relegation before Michael takes over, you know, and then look where we finished. You know, yes, it was a little bit too soon, but it could have also gone the other way if we didn't replace the manager when we did, and you know, it was quite worrying times.
Ben, where are your thoughts in terms of how we're going to look as a team?
It's difficult to say. I think the pre-season friendlies, for some reason, it feels like there's been more scrutiny this pre-season than there ever has been before. In previous season, I couldn't have told you who we played, where it was, who scored. I heard good things from the last game we played about creating chances and so on and so forth. But I think the opening game, it's going to be a bit nervy. I think some people have left. We've got some people coming in. They're still working out, I would say, where their roles are. So I predict a scrappy 1-0 win for the Boro.
All right, okay. In terms of players, are you expecting any little tricks up the sleeve of Michael Carrick? Somebody might come in who you're not expecting. What about Piero?
Definitely, yeah. We've got a lot of ghosts in the system, I like to call them. I think it's under Kieran Scott's kind of previous tactics. We took on a load of players that we didn't necessarily expect to play. We maybe developed them, then sell them on once they got a little bit better. So, you know, Hoppy, for example, maybe he'll hop on, for want of a better expression. Whatever happened to Matt Clark as well? He's still on our books. He came in, played one really good match, didn't do so well the next time he was on the field, and has completely disappeared. So, I think he's got a knock at the moment, so it's not as if he can come in. Yeah. No, but given how thin the squad kind of feels in certain positions, there will be a surprise, and I think it'll make the difference between us and Millwall on the day, hopefully.
Well, the man who showed is, we gave him his homework and we said, give us your starting 11. Can we stick it up, Kofi, on the screen, and let's have a look at it. So this is, Andy, this is what you were suggesting, obviously with Dieng in goal.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for that to come up, and there it is.
No, I've gone a back 4, because I think, especially if you're playing Hayden as a young player, I think it gives him a little bit more licence to.
I don't think there's another real option there, is there?
No. Well, not unless he plays a back 3 and he plays in wing back. But I just think it makes him very isolated. For me, I know Paddy's not a right back, but Lenihan's for me he's potentially going to be captain.
Yeah.
Dale's got to play. For me, he's the best defender we've got. Wears his heart in the sleeve. For me, I'm excited about the 3 people I picked in the middle. Ryan McGree's a pure baller in the middle. He gets on the ball. He makes things happen. Hayden, you can probably stick and you'll get the ball off the middle. Piero I put in there because for me, we've got to unlock doors for me. We need to create more chances. We've lost 3 potential players at the weekend. If Akpom doesn't play, I potentially believe he won't play, but for me, we need to start unlocking doors. I think Forbes does deserve an opportunity. Isaiah, for me, he gets me excited. My blood boils as well at the same time. There's end products at times, but you know what I mean. But for me, he's got to start because he excites, and I think the times that he's played towards the end of the season, further up the pitch, he's made things happen. He's got us excited, and just from the weekend, Rodgers getting his goal, I think goals breed confidence for centre forwards, and if you're going into the season with a goal on the last pre-season game, you want to play, you know, and I use that for myself that. I think it was 97-98, somebody might tell me different, but I'm sure it was 97-98. It was before we played Bradford City, first game of the season, when Dean Saunders scored the first goal. We got beat 1-0. I played the last pre-season game. I started because we had a couple of injuries, and I scored 3 against Huddersfield away. We beat them 4-0. Straight after the game, manager said, amazing, you're going to start next week in the Premier League, and you're a little bit like nervous, excited, but you're there on merit because you deserved it. I think players deserve to be rewarded for performances last season, but also pre-season as well. New contracts, you know what I mean? You look at squad numbers there, Lenihan's going to be captain 26, but squad numbers normally dictate if players are going to play or not, because manager's not stupid. He gives players belief, and and players like the lower numbers.
And just to clarify, is this your starting 11, or is this what you think Michael Carrick's starting 11 will be?
That's what I think it'll be. That's what I would like it to be. That's what I would like it to be, because I think for me it gives us a bit of solid in the middle, solid at the back, and for me the front three can rotate and make something happen, I believe. You know what I mean? But listen, we're all experts, we're all fans, we're all there to be shot at, and you know what I mean? For me, whichever team Michael picks at the weekend, I'll be backing him regardless, and hoping we get the 3 points.
Same here. What do you make of the 11? Would you be happy with that?
Oh yeah, I'd be really happy with that. You've got everything. You've got your solid, consistent performers, a couple of surprises, hungry players looking to prove themselves, and yeah, if someone like Piero just doesn't work, he's got one or two other names he can bring on the pitch, maybe calm things down. Bring 35. Is he 35 now, Howson? He seems to be rolling back the years like Benjamin Button.
He could be 45. It wouldn't make any difference. He would still play like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he's going to go on forever.
But I think that when you got Hayden in there, I think with a Campbell influence next to him and later in the game to kill games off, I think Johnny could do that very, very calmly and very effectively. And I think it's important that we have those kind of players instead of utilising them straight from the off and hanging them out to dry a little bit in games and bringing them off. For me, he can see games through. We're winning, shut up shop, bring off an attacking player and pack the midfield. And I think it's so important that we get tactics a little bit more superior instead of being a little bit naive like we were in probably the final game and a half against Coventry in the playoffs. And I think we'll learn from that. I think the staff will learn from it. The players will certainly learn from it to see games through. But yeah, hopefully.
And you look at that 11, Ben, and let's think if we can get those niggly injuries out the way. So you've got Howson coming back, you've got Akpom coming back, you've got Coburn coming back to be available, Dyke-Steele, except Tommy Smith. You know, you mentioned Matt Clark. So with that 11, plus these additions coming back in, suddenly are we too concerned that we haven't had any big marquee name signings coming in?
Not too concerned. Slightly concerned.
It'd be nice,
maybe. Yeah,
but
I think what you've got there is a team that can steady the ship, who won't panic, who will compete for a playoff place. I just think we might just need one or two additions that could just get us over that promotion line, which is a great place to be. Don't get me wrong. You know, early on last season, we were talking about relegation. So for it to have turned around so quickly, I just think we've got the best manager. I've got more confidence in our transfer team now than I have done over the last couple of years. We seem to not spend too much money and bring players that can play really well. So no, not too concerned.
You said 1-0 Boro, Scruffy?
Yep.
Yeah. What do you think? It's Millwall.
Yeah,
they're nasty.
They are. Yeah, and I think
snarl.
I think there'll be goal. I think my heart's telling me one thing, my head's telling me another.
I'm there as well.
Yeah, my head's telling me that there'll be 1-1. My heart, I'll go 2-1.
2-1 Boro. My head's telling me 1-0 Scruffy. Sorry, my heart's telling me 1-0 Scruffy. I've got a horrible feeling it'll be a 0-0. You know,
we've had a good record against them over the last.
We have. Listen, you're talking tactics as well. They're in a similar position to us. They failed to get in the playoffs, so they're in a real transition. You know, I mean, their manager's under pressure. Gary Rowett's under pressure to come here and start the season properly and start with a positive mindset. We can have a real impact on that.
30,000 at the Riverside as well, so that's going to be important.
Yeah. We can really burst his bubble with his new players, with the way that he's trying to do things, and give them a real negative start, because he'll have looked at the fixtures when they came out and thought, couldn't have been any worse. It was the worst fixture possible for them, because you go to a Premier League club, there's the excitement of teams getting relegated. It's coming to Middlesbrough. There's no positive for them, because we've been beaten in the playoffs. You know, there's no real positive. And for me, I don't think I like it at all. And I think it's real positive for us.